Selling is a prerequisite for life. There are an estimated 18 million people in the United States who self identify themselves as salespeople. There are car salespeople, real estate salespeople, software salespeople, business to business sales, door to door salespeople. There are inside salespeople, there are outside salespeople, territory salespeople, strategic account salespeople, regional salespeople. Have you heard enough yet? Sales engineers, and the list goes on and on. That's a lot of salespeople. In fact, nearly 13% of all jobs in the United States, that's one in eight, are full time sales positions. But the real total of salespeople, I would have to argue, far surpasses that number. Why? Because in today's business environment, everyone needs to be a salesperson. And we are all salespeople, whether you're in the position that's called sales or not. It doesn't matter whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you're a carpenter, whether you're a plumber. It doesn't matter whether you're a doctor. You have to sell your ideas and you have to get your point across and communicate with other people. Even when you're driving in traffic and you're negotiating to change lanes or get off the freeway or get on the freeway, or merging, whatever it is, that's all a negotiation, and you're selling your way. To other people just by your actions alone. But selling impacts everyone on the planet. Your ability or inability to sell, persuade, negotiate, or convince others will affect every area of your life and will determine whether you survive or thrive. Here's why. No matter what your title, your position, or what your role is in your company, your team, at some point, you're going to have to convince others of something. If you're a manager, a CEO, or a salesperson, and the better you understand, the better you are at sales. The more knowledge you have, the better you're going to be. And the more repeat business you'll receive, the more referrals you'll get, and the more money you're going to make. So the whole idea here is to sell more, sell consistently, and earn more on each sale. Lawyers, especially trial lawyers, are big time salespeople. They have to sell judge and jury. Think about being a parent. If you're a parent, talk about having a master sales position. Every day is a negotiation with your kids. When they're small, you have to negotiate with them about bedtime, about screen time, why they're too young to have an iPhone or why they're too young to have an Xbox. And when they get older, you're basically negotiating with similar things. You may have to sell them on the idea of getting a college degree or a certain career, or maybe going into the service. It's a much better choice than joining a band and driving around the country in a Volkswagen bus. Although a lot of us, we always had that thought that might be a cool idea, but is it realistic, and is it going to provide for us and our family? And is it really, the answer to that. Concepts such as discipline, work ethic, education, good manners, and homework all have to be sold. Think of the most successful people like people like Mark Cuban, Martha Stewart, Steve Jobs when he was with us, when he was CEO of Apple, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey. These are all masters who are good at the skill of selling, that they don't even have to look like they're selling. Take anything that they've done. Think about the ideas, the products, the services, the TV shows that they are selling multiple other people, not just the audience and the end users of those product, but think of everybody they have to interact with and sell their idea on in order to get that out to the general public and to their audience. Big time salespeople. Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're female, whether you work on a salary, whether you work on a commission, you're always selling something to someone in order to advance. There is no exception to this rule, and there's no way to escape it. The receptionist who wants a raise, the actress who wants a part in a job, the guy who wants a girl, all rely on selling themselves, whether they know it or not. A professional salesperson who depends on sales for his or her livelihood needs to know how to sell and needs to know how to negotiate and needs to know how to close. But these other people all need to know how to sell as well. When the actress goes for an audition and hopes to land the part, she'd better be able to, he or she better be able to convince the director that not only can they act, but they're the right person for the part. Even beyond your role as a professional salesperson, the better you master the skill of sales, the more you'll get what you want in all areas of life. A person's ability to persuade another is the only thing that will ultimately ensure a position in the marketplace. Academic records, grades, resumes won't guarantee you a promotion or an advancement in life, but the ability to sell will. Smart sales managers and business owners don't always hire the most intelligent or the most qualified person to fill the position. Instead, they look for the person who convinces them that he or she can do the job. The best companies hire the persuasive, positive, and confident applicants hand down over the one who offers little more than a fancy resume. Sales success is business success. You may have figured it out already, but salespeople are a company's lifeblood. Without a successful sales team, no company will last. Sears is a great example of a strong brand that absolutely tanked because the company did not pay attention to sales, did not pay attention to servicing the customer. Love Sears. You'd go there back in the day, and they'd have hardware, big tool section, and the people who worked there were absolute masters, uh, knowing the complete line of all the products they sell. They could talk for an hour why the Craftsman lawnmower or the Craftsman tool was better than all the other tools and lawnmowers on the market. People would come in just to see what was new. In fact, back in the day, they used to sell a catalog that was about the size of a phone book, if you're old enough to know what a phone book is. But it's true, and they had everything. And that thing, every single year or every season, was always being redone and reshipped out to people. But then the chairman of the board lost sight of the customer, lost sight of knowing their product, lost sight of knowing how to engage with people, how to service people, and really lost sight of what was important to their consumer. Great salespeople can drive business success, but it's a rare business that can survive without a talented sales team. That's why the successful salespeople can often write their own ticket in terms of compensation and career. Because in sales, in most cases, your earning potential is unlimited. No matter what field you're in, no matter what your title is, you have to know how to sell. Believing that the skill of sales matters, that's the first step, right? That's what we're talking about today. Getting your mind right about matters is the first step to becoming a great salesperson. You need to believe that sales matters, and you need to believe that your product or service matters, and you need to believe that you matter. Okay. Career salespeople are vital to the dynamic of any economy. And if you're in automotive sales, and I know I talk about automotive sales a lot because that's who I was for the past 20 years, you may not realize how important your role is or how important your job is. But that our U.S. economy, our SARS, they look at four different areas to see how the economy is doing, right? And one of the main areas, 25% that they look at is new vehicle sales. And so if you're in automotive sales and you're like, man, I hate selling cars. You're questioning your career, you're questioning the manufacturer that you're working for, keep in mind, man, you are responsible for 25% of the nation's economy. um, Look, the world would stop turning without salespeople. If a product isn't sold and moved on to the public, factories would stop, production would stop, and there would be no need for distribution, no need for storage, no demand for shipping, uh, advertising. The burden of the entire economy of our culture today rests on the ability of salespeople.